All right, welcome back to another Roth Real podcast. I'm here with Benjamin and Nicholas. Anthony can't be with us today. Today we are talking about the new hit horror movie Obsession. We'll start with our initial thoughts and star review, and we'll get into it.
New might be a loose term at this point.
No, yeah,
Semi-new.
yeah, but when it's that big, you have to talk about it. So my initial thoughts: I think it's another 5 out of 5 movie. Probably Before the Odyssey was my favorite movie of the year over Project Hail Mary, over all of those. I thought it was brilliantly written. You know, the budget was $750,000 and it made over, was it 500 million, I think?
A lot of money.
So that is just proof of how good the movie is. Like I said, I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars.
Yeah. I'd go ahead and say 4.5 out of 5 stars.
Fair.
Very good movie. Lots of hints to Hereditary, another great movie that I've watched. Unlike a lot of horror movies that I think use gore just kind of out in the open, I think that the way that they used the violence in there actually has meaning to it. So I think it's unlike a lot of horror movies of today, and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I was really happy there weren't any like cheap scares, like just jump scare, jump scare, jump scare. There actually was maybe 1 or 2 jump scares. Like there was the car scene that got me. Other than that, it was like build up, build up, build up. And then nothing would happen. And it almost like was worse because you were expecting something big. So you're still waiting for it. Like we'll talk about later. When I was in the theater, I was watching it like this the whole movie because I
I
didn't
got
know.
long eyelashes, so it's kind of like...
Yeah. And it's like I was so terrified what was going to happen, but nothing kept happening. So I'm like, all right, when's the big, reveal going to happen? And so it just kept you on the edge of the seat the whole time. Nicholas.
I think these are our ratings for Obsession are verbatim our ratings for the Odyssey, because I think you went 5 last time.
Yep.
You went 4.5. I'm also going 4.5, which is what I said last time as well. Pound for pound, I think it's the best movie of the year.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. The budget, like I have that as one of my positives. Budget to results
And
is one of the greatest.
And like you were saying, I thought what it did well that a lot of other horror movies, especially newer ones, miss out on is like it did a great job at holding tension
Sure.
throughout the entire thing and not giving you that release until like it all came flowing out at the end.
Mm-hmm.
And I really enjoyed it. I wasn't quite covering my eyes in the movie theater. Probably a little desensitized at this point, which is probably not a good thing. But
Yeah.
again, really well done, and especially coming from a YouTuber.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, for sure. Let's get into the positives. My biggest positives were Indy Navarrete and Michael Johnson, of course. There was 4 actors in this movie, and I feel like, especially the 2 main, but even like all of them, even Cooper Tomlinson, who's literally just the funny guy on YouTube with Curry Barker, I thought he did great as Ian. Like the end with like I wish for $1 billion, like that whole scene between the 2 of them yelling at each other, I thought was really good. And of course, Indy Navarrete I think she was in like Superman and Lois before this, and probably
We'll have her pick in movies after that.
Yeah, that's about as good as it gets.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it'll be enough to win an Oscar because, it's the beginning of the year, it kind of falls through, but she definitely deserves one. And I think Michael Johnson as Bear also did very well. So the actors, huge positive. And like I said earlier, the budget to results, $750,000. Those actors probably got paid $20K, maybe $30K. And having ended up being $500 million in the box office over like 2 months. That's crazy. And I hope they pay him more after. Like, if I'm Indy Navarrete, I'm like, give me $10 million. Like, I made this for you. And then the last thing, my last positive was the shots and like the lighting and it all. You can see Nikki's face like half the time, and that's part of the fear factor for me. Like, is she like completely demonic looking? But like when she was in the corner, you can kind of see her face, but that was so scary. You didn't know what was happening, and all of these scenes kept coming through and through where you couldn't see her face, and I just thought that was so brilliant. not using.
I actually had a little bit about this in my prose. Two of the prose that I had, I had what you had at acting. Holy cow! I had humor as well. With
Sure.
the $1 billion. I keep some things light. I had the use of stillness and the use of darkness. I think that, as you were saying, Nikki's face would go dark, the pupils would go dark, and I think it was interesting the use of that darkness was to show when she wasn't there, like when she was standing. I remember a scene where Bear's talking to her in the house, and she's standing under a beam, and like her face is dark because of that, like her whole body is, and the use of like the silhouettes, like portraying the possession is really a good way of showing that. And then of course the use of stillness. One of the scariest parts of this and like the most unnerving was it almost felt like each shot was like, why is it taking so long?
Like when Bear originally leaves to go to work and she's saying like, and it's like 15 seconds.
It's kind of just
and you're like,
the movie freeze.
What is about to happen? Then she like pisses down her leg, and it's like, that's weird.
Like, the use of like the shots that are uncomfortably long was such a good, like reminiscent of Anthony Hopkins.
Yeah, Silence of the Lambs. Yeah, I think he went out and said like when he was preparing for that movie, like he was like, what made something scary? And it was, he stands still the whole movie. Like he just talks to her like stand still the whole time. It's freaky.
I'll say the one scene that got me the most, like the scariest, most psychologically horrifying scene. He wakes up at 3:15 a.m. and he looks, and it just shows the wall.
Oh, it's horrible.
And you think you see someone in the corner, but it has like 10 seconds of just looking at this wall, and you're like, what am I supposed to be seeing? What is going to jump out at me? And nothing ever does. It's very much like Blair Witch Project in the sense that it's like anticipation, and then
she like moves a little. And I think the worst part about the scene, her face is distorted. Yeah, she's smiling, but like when she like gets out, grabs the vase and like shuffles around the bed, and I'm sitting there like, oh my gosh, she's all like demonic, she's all like horrifying, it's gonna be terrible. And then she's like, okay, and like gets in bed, nothing happens. Like it kept playing with her mind over and over. Something bad's going to happen. Then, I mean, eventually the ending it does conclude. It's great, but like throughout the whole thing, I was in the theater. Just when is the big swing going to happen?
Well, what I would say, I thought the movie did well. My biggest pro that you guys haven't said is how well it did at making you uncomfortable.
Oh. The freaking when she's at the party and she's like talking about the incestual haunts.
The two scenes that stuck out to me the most there is one, that party scene.
Oh my gosh,
borderline tough to sit through.
Yeah, I was so uncomfortable.
And then that scene when they go out to dinner, and no.
Yeah.
But
well, I think
a little bit.
I think that's supposed to be like that, and it's almost like making a mockery of like relationships that are actually like that. Because everyone knows that couple that it's just like, why are you?
We are having a nice time.
And it the way the movie uses like over dramatic scenarios like that, and it's actually like I kind of know someone who acts like that. And
sure.
I think that was just so great.
And I love how they, because I saw an interview where Trey Parker's like, I want to do this idea if someone's overly obsessed, and they go and he watches the Simpsons episode of the Monkey Paw, and like we read that story, and I love the Monkey Paw. It's just a wish had gone wrong, and I just love how he used that idea to make this movie he was thinking about doing for a long time. I thought it was brilliant.
It was interesting though, because it's not like it wasn't a 1-to-1 Monkey's Paw.
No,
like it was just like it almost seemed like his wish was just like poorly worded because Ian asked for $1 billion. Ian gets $1 billion on the spot, no questions asked. Right? Ian didn't get $1 billion from an insurance claim because his girlfriend got shredded in a meat grinder.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like I saw, like why did Bear get screwed so bad and Ian just got handed to it? It was so like
come on, you got to know what I mean, right?
Yeah. Like now you're nitpicking.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else?
No.
Yeah. I have some questions just to talk about. I've seen this a lot everywhere. Is Bear the worst character in the movie? Is he one of the worst characters in cinema?
Movie. I mean, again, we're talking about 4 characters.
Yeah.
One is completely a victim. One gets her head beaten by a brick.
It's up between
it's,
Ian and
it's
Bear.
Ian, like
Ian and Bear.
Ian, and then Bear. So, and what's Ian's? Ian doesn't
I
really
have-
have Ian doesn't really have a big sin.
Well, here we go. So I've watched this movie 3 times now, and each time I slowly realized like Ian was kind of a dirtbag. He was setting Bear up from failure from the beginning. We see it in the opening scene. Bear's giving this beautiful, heartfelt speech to this waitress.
Sucks.
And Ian's like, dude, what was that? That's horrible. Like, I'm cringed to that. And the waitress is like, no, I think that's so nice. He's like, dude, never do that again. Ian knowing, he's sleeping with Nikki randomly. But,
Curveball.
yeah, that was crazy. But
You guys didn't see that coming?
I did not see it the
I
first
was
time.
more focused on all the other stuff that was going
Yeah,
on.
but like Ian just wants Bear to screw
Well,
up. He tells Bear, you call her freaking Nikki, fully knowing that she hates that it's not playful.
Also, the scene where they're talking at the bar and he comes up.
Exactly.
Totally ruins it.
He won't skip trivia for one night. Does Ian seem like a guy who really cares that much about trivia? He's an old fratty douchebag guy. And he interrupts him at the bar when he was trying to tell him something. He knows. We get into this a little bit, but like it's almost like he kind of knows Nikki likes Bear. This is a question. Do you think Nikki liked Bear beforehand? I've seen controversy over this all the time, and I think she does. And I'm going to tell you why. She's at the car, and even at the bar, she's kind of playing around. Yeah, whatever. She's at the car. And, you're the only one I can talk to about this, blah, blah. She's about to leave. He brings up the freaking Nikki thing. And she goes like, Bear, do you like me? He's like, what? No. And then you see her face kind of drop. I'm like,
But you don't think that uncomfortable kind of back and forth can't be from, I know this guy likes me, but I don't,
I don't think
if you rewatch it, you need to see her face in it. Because I watched it the other day, I'm like, oh my gosh, he missed it. Yeah, that's full in my opinion. Just on her facial expression, like it was like disappointment. Like, okay, good. Like, yeah.
To be fair, Benjamin, I don't know if that's an experience we can really have because we're dudes.
What experience?
Like.
Yeah,
I think she kind of knows that he likes
sure.
her. Like,
And
we don't know. No, nobody in this establishment knows how the female mind works.
true. And Sarah's talking to me. She's like, "Yeah, Nikki told me that she's like a brother to me, right?" Or yeah,
There's a
and
depth there.
yeah,
There's
and then
depth.
Nikki literally says, "When I have a crush, no one knows. Like I don't tell anyone." So why would she tell Sarah in that situation? I think she's just playing it cool. She doesn't want to get it. She doesn't want to get it out. But if you rewatch that scene, her facial expression when he says, "No, of course not. We're friends," it's complete disappointment. That's my opinion on it.
But is he worse than Bear?
Is Ian worse than Bear?
Ian
No.
worse than Bear? No.
No, but Ian is a horrible friend throughout it.
Hey, why don't you explain for the camera what Bear's biggest flaws?
Um,
Because I think it's a different answer than I have.
I think Bear is a lonely, sad person. You feel bad for him. You feel horrible. His cat dies. At the very beginning, they're trying to make you feel horrible for him. It's a wish gone wrong. You can't blame the guy. He thought it was a joke. The moment Bear goes into his room and, Nikki's asleep, but like the real Nikki's awake and goes, kill me. It's not me. I was never with you. And he goes, why is it so bad to be with me? And then proceeds to carry on his way. When he knows something is wrong, after that moment, he's unredeemable.
I think you could argue that the title Obsession doesn't actually refer to Nikki.
It refers to him.
I think
That's kind of brilliant.
because who really is the obsessed one? The one that is clearly going through, like
That's
outside
interesting.
perspective, you don't know there's a curse. This is a girl that's going through something rough. All her friends like, dude, you gotta check her into the psych ward, And this guy, despite seeing all these things, is so willing to throw away that friendship, throw away
Yeah.
this girl's like individualism, just so that he can have the idea of her.
Yeah,
and that is truly obsessed.
the obsession title does appear when it's just him on the screen. It's under his bed. I didn't even think about that. How it's not talking about Nikki who was forced into it. It's talking about the guy who made it all. That's crazy. I didn't even think about that.
So what do you think the correct course of action would have been at that point? Like what's a man to do?
He needs to go back, which he does. He eventually does go back to the shop, and he wants to re-wish it all back. But he didn't know she would go on a killing spree. So at the time, he should have broken up with her and tried to figure it out. But he didn't. He just wanted to keep sleeping with her and keep her under his spell. But do I think that it's because he's a bad guy? I think he's just a coward who doesn't want to take any initiative for that, who doesn't want to have any repercussions for his action. And at the end, when he's going to kill himself, he's about to redeem himself. He's about to make the sacrifice, and he backs out of it. So he's unredeemed at the end. He dies, and
she's left with all
Yeah.
the crap.
Yep. So
And a 120-year prison sentence.
100%, maybe the death penalty, depending on where they live.
I don't know. You'd probably argue, clinically insane.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Yeah, but I mean, all the witnesses are gone.
Wow.
Anybody who could have testified that she was clinically insane is.
Yeah,
It's a dead
she
person.
stabbed herself in the head, and at the party, there's so many people who so yeah, she'd be screwed. Did you like the ending? Did you like Bear?
I got it. I don't know why it was such a point of debate. I think the ending was really interesting. You hear like the twig snap, and then you're
I
kind of
got
like
chills when that
maybe
happened.
she wished that maybe
I
she
thought
because
he wished he
was
would die.
trying he was trying to get her, like, say, hey, if you really love me, you'll wish to
Mhm.
make this not work. And then she was saying those things at the door. Maybe we could take a break.
Yeah.
And then maybe I was kind of sitting there thinking maybe she wished for that to happen, and then you kind of saw that, and you're like, oh, she wished that
Mhm.
he was just as in love with her.
That was such a good twist, because I originally thought, oh, she's gonna wish he doesn't die. He's gonna have to live with her forever. But then you go out, and I remember my first thought when she's smiling, I'm like, oh my gosh, he's gonna die in her arms. She's gonna wake up. She's gonna kill herself.
Mhm.
And like
Almost true.
I feel like everyone thought that way. Like there is at that scene, like, oh, they're all gonna kill themselves. And then Curry Barker makes it worse by her not killing herself. And so she wakes up, all of her friends are dead around her, and she goes to jail for the rest of her life.
Well, that part.
That's going to happen, and then the credits when she's just screaming and crying throughout. Oh, I have chills thinking about it right now. It was so unnerving leaving the theater for the first time, like what I just watched.
I would say that kind of relates to my one issue with the movie is I say that there's kind of a couple of gaps. I want to know more about the nature of this. I'm just going to call it Willow or whatever. Why could this person talk in her sleep? Why?
Yeah.
I don't get that. I don't get how the $1 billion didn't have any repercussions. That's what I wrote down too.
Well, I mean, he died too fast for us to figure out.
I know, but so only if you wish against someone's free will, you get repercussions.
Sure.
I don't know why that went so wrong. I don't know how
Well,
the
even
way he phrased it could have caused that to happen.
yeah, even if I feel like even if she didn't go, crazy and start murdering people, and she was just happy, normal, would the real Nikki still be like trapped inside,
Mhm.
or and he just wouldn't have any idea? I think that's interesting.
Yeah. Also, just the idea that everyone's like, "Oh yeah, those things totally work, bro." Like, okay.
I saw. A
I think
theory.
the whole thing with the store was weird. Who'd he call? Like,
the number.
call.
Yeah, I saw a
it's
theory.
like, oh, there's this deep, ominous voice, and it's like, oh, I guess the only way you can do it is to kill yourself. Like he's talking to the devil, and then the guy at the store. Like, I didn't get any.
I saw a theory that the guy at the store was the girl at the beginning, and she wished to be a guy at the end, and so it's the same person. Which I don't know
What does
how.
that have to do with it?
Yeah, let's
I don't know how you get that, but I thought that was weird.
Okay. All right, man.
There's a joke to be made here. I won't make it.
Huh. So yeah, just the nature of how the ghost works, I felt was a little bit weird. And then also just the background to the store. I wish I could have had a little more with that.
Mm-hmm. And I'm sure he'll make some type of sequel to it,
I don't know if he will.
or something.
I don't think he has to.
I saw he wants to do a show where it's just the same idea of the one with Willow every time,
Sure.
which would be interesting to
Yeah, I
watch
think
it.
that'd be fun to watch. you're talking about generations for a second. I think like the last years kind of proved that like I think Gen Z might be here.
Yeah. We're
With the
tired of
backrooms
seeing the
and-
slop.
yeah.
Yeah,
We're tired of seeing the slop, and
it's a lot of slop.
our guys are trying to change that.
Our guys.
Well,
Or people. Anyone else have any cons?
I was trying to think of negatives. I don't have any overarching things that come to mind about that. Maybe, yeah, I wish we got a little bit more background on everything. What is DeWillow? But again, he has the future to figure that out.
But I also think like it's sort of like telling a joke. I don't think you want to explain it too much.
Yeah, it kind of loses the magic.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts?
Do you have any questions or?
No, I asked all the ones I had.
Oh, I've got a couple things that I feel like you could talk about. So I have written down cat-like behavior, and I'll explain this a little bit here. Is that so? The willow gets broken, and I think what I've kind of thought about the ghost is that the ghost has a way of taking what the bear character loves and then trying to emulate the relationship of this female character after what he loves. So, for example, the first thing that I had is that the girl acts like the cat that he really loved, because the ghost's like, oh, Bear loved the cat. If I act like the cat, Bear will love me, right? So
she also goes like, my cat died.
yeah,
And then at the beginning, it's
which
like,
is such a weird thing to say
I'd be sad.
unless you think of it this way. So what's the first thing she does that's weird? She brings the cat back. Like what does a cat do? It like brings its dead critters to you. It's like, hey, look what I found. I found this mouse for you, bro. And then think of her waiting by the door when he leaves, pissing on the carpet. I also had like what else? Just like following him around, like this ghost is trying to act like this cat that he really loved. And then you see this near the end when the other character, what's the other girl's name?
Sarah.
When Sarah likes her and she tries to act like Sarah. Like, I know it's kind of gross, but near the end you have Sarah tied to the chair in the nude, like kind of like presented to a bear, and then also the tattooing, which refers to Sarah as well. So I see that the ghost, all the things that steals Bear's attention is what this Willow is trying to emulate. Is something
That's very
I've written
interesting.
down.
So okay. I've seen things where it's like Nikki is the cat, but you think the whatever demon ghost thing is possessing her sees Bear's affection for the cat, and
because it kind of shows how not real it is.
Yeah, sure.
Like, and it, like I said, how it makes fun of relationships that, everyone knows these people that are willing to change everything about their personality to fit with this one guy that they like, this one girl that they like, and it's kind of like, well, Bear likes the cat, so I'll just act like the cat, I'll be someone I'm not. And then at the same time, seeing like an abusive relationship, like this person is way too clingy, and then just kind of being like, oh, whatever, man, she can come to the party, you know?
Sure. I like that a lot. Any other thoughts?
I'm just sitting. Okay, I'm gonna circle back here for a second. So in the whole saga, right? Wish happens, right? And Bear starts to see Nikki do all these things, right? And for a lot of the first part, he's like ignorant to like what's actually happening.
Sure.
Because why would anybody believe that? And then toward the end, like the entire second half of the movie, is him trying to get out of it.
Yeah.
So maybe I'm coming to his defense a little bit, because like I don't think there's that big of a window of scumbaggery.
I think him saying, why is it so bad being with me? I think from that point on, there's no point of return. I think after that, he's a huge scumbag.
I think the scumbaggery for me happens when, she'd be like, oh, weird, and creepy and lovey-dovey to him, and then all of a sudden she'd freak out. Where am I? Who am I?
Oh,
I don't want
yeah.
this. Get away from me, you know. And he'd still. It was the scene where he was banging her pretty
Yeah.
much that had it for me. I'm like,
That's
you just
bad.
saw this girl's having doubts and is evidently going through something. My
Mhm.
dad's dying or whatever, and you're
And
taking
he
advantage of
he
that.
knows
Yeah.
that's not true.
Yeah.
And
Like-
Ian even says like, "It looks like you're taking advantage of her." It's like, come on, dude, that's not fair.
I think that like
it's totally fair.
I think that I know it's meant to be kind of a consent thing when it's like, oh, she didn't have your consent to make that wish for her, but also like, who knew that was going to be the nature of the wish,
Mhm.
you know? And but I think after that moment,
And
when,
he didn't think it was going to happen.
not to mention at that time he thought something was just really wrong with her.
Yeah,
you know.
she's high on Molly,
Yeah,
or whatever
and,
that
and
is.
still takes advantage of her
Mhm.
and still lets her do all that stuff. You
Yeah.
know, it's like that's kind of where the consent thing begins for me. I know it's supposed to be right when he wishes, oh, that's against her consent, but that's kind of where I find
Yeah,
the rapey vibes, I
Yeah.
suppose.
yeah, I think it goes Bear, Ian.
Oh, I'm not denying that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's Ted Bundy.
Oh, for sure, no.
I think he's a guy who got put in a crap situation.
He's a loser.
And he's a loser, and he's alone, and he got desperate. And why would anybody in their right mind think that was going to work?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think I don't know. It's a fictional character. I think we may be judging a little bit too harshly because
Mm-hmm.
that is such a ridiculous situation.
Yeah, human error. All right. Any other thoughts?
I also like the portrayal of like fighting the ghost back. Like I'll say like, you know how she'll just start walking backwards.
Oh, I
and-
hated that.
Yeah, like that's kind of like in my
So
mind
bad.
indicated that she's pulling back. Like she's trying to fight the actions of the ghost the whole time.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Where he goes, she's like, "Say you love me.
Mhm.
I love you."
Yeah.
That was horrible. I remember sitting there like, "What is happening?" Oh, that's
Yeah,
interesting.
it was an embarrassing theater performance for.
Oh, the theater
for
was
Dominic
great
over
though.
here.
It was just a bunch of like 17-year-old guys going, "What is happening?" Oh, it's great. It's great.
Had a couple of them going, "Oh, this is way too relatable."
Yeah, no, that definitely happened too.
It was the party scene for me. It was
Oh,
like, oh, so Sarah's going, you know, and it's just all. I knew you would bring her. It's
yeah.
like, do you mind
You
if my
could do it for
girlfriend-
one night.
Do you mind if my girlfriend comes to boys' night? You know, it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, I could definitely see where this is
Yeah.
coming from.
It's
That came from someone's heart.
I think the point is it's supposed to be kind of realistic in that sense, so it like stays with you a little more.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was brilliant. Anything else?
No, I got
Keep
nothing.
asking.
Hmm?
Keep asking. Maybe something will come up. Who knows?
Yeah,
Just don't mess with magic.
true. Don't what you say. Don't invite.
I say if you don't want uninvited guests, don't invite them.
Yeah, there you go. All right, that's another episode. We'll have brand new day out shortly.
I'm
That's all.
sure our opinions will reflect the masses on that one.
Oh yeah, yeah. All right.
All
Bad
right.
attention is good attention. Stay tuned.